Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm gonna come straight out and say it. If you are a fan of anime, especially Naruto, you should watch Soul Eater. It has everything that you can want in anime. It has comedy, especially comedy. It's fucking hilarious. It has awesome fights. It has the feels moments. I mean, everything about this anime is awesome. Although it does seem to have ended kind of abruptly and out of nowhere with some things still unsolved, but I believe the manga goes past this point or actually closes up some things. But anyway, this anime is awesome. You should definitely check this out. Now, many of you have already seen Soul Eater like literally years ago, but I've been putting it off and putting it off. But my lady friend Tsubaki Swag loves Soul Eater, as you can tell, because one of the characters' names is in her YouTube name. But I bought her the Soul Eater entire collection for Christmas, and we sat down and watched it, and I ended up loving it. So I'm going to give you a quick rundown of what Soul Eater is about without spoiling anything, and it's not going to be that long because most people have seen it because it is a few years old. But to my understanding, I believe the manga just ended a few months ago. I could be wrong on that, I'm not sure. But anywho, Soul Eater takes place in Death City, which is ruled by Death himself. He's like a Grim Reaper, Shinigami kind of character. But for once, Death isn't portrayed as a bad guy. He's actually fucking hilarious. So that was a nice twist. Death is actually a good guy, and he has this school where weapons and meisters try to train themselves so the weapons can evolve into a death scythe so he can use it like in defense of Death City. And the weapons are humans that can take the form of a weapon. The main character, Soul Eater or Soul Evans, he is a scythe literally, and his meister Maka is the only one that can wield him, and you have to have like a strong personal soul link to be able to use a weapon. That's why meisters are so special. But basically, the scythe has to eat, I believe it was 99 Kishin egg souls and 1 witch soul to become a death scythe. So in the very first episode, Soul messes it up because he eats a soul that he think belongs to a witch, but it doesn't. So he has to start all 99 soul hunts all over again. So that's what the school is basically about, trying to fine-tune these weapons and meisters to become these awesome badasses. And they can only eat Kishin eggs, but there are people who do not follow this rule and eat human souls, and if they continue to do it, I don't think there was a certain amount they had to eat. But anyway, if you keep eating human souls, you become a Kishin. And as far as the anime goes, there was only one Kishin shown, and he was badass. I mean, he literally knocked some of the main characters away just by swatting, and the wind of his gentle swat literally knocked them all away. Everything after the Kishin's revival is epic, man. I mean, the Kishin, he's literally scared of everything. Like when he was first revived, I think it was some girl that was in his face, and he started screaming because he was so scared. He's literally frightened of everything, but he has the power to destroy everything. So you can see how that is a messed up combination. So anything that he's afraid of, he literally just demolishes. Now, death scythes are supposed to be like the ultimate defense against a Kishin, but I'm not going to spoil anything, but there's an awesome twist at the end. But let's talk about some of the main characters. Maka and Soul are awesome there. They're not your typical badass team up, because Soul is kind of immature to an extent. Like, he plays around a lot, but he knows when it's time to get serious. And if you like Naruto, you will love Black Star. He's exactly like Naruto. I mean, he's a ninja, for crying out loud, but he's way more cocky. He's talking about he's going to be a god one day, and that cockiness gets him messed up a lot. But his weapon, Tsubaki, who is by far one of the more awesome weapons because she has more than one form, her team up at first glance is highly unexpected because she's this calm female who always thinks things through. She always sees the bright side of things, whereas Black Star is like this cocky, loudmouth guy who expects everyone to just pay attention to him. But they do get along like very well. They will also do anything for each other. Man, that one scene when Black Star was waiting for Tsubaki to wake up and someone was literally banging on his head with, I believe it was either a log or a bat or something like that. He was just so concerned about seeing his friend come back to him that he wasn't worried about what an entire crowd was doing to his body. And Death the Kid, he is literally Death's sons. He's a character, that's all I can say. He wants everything to be symmetrical. Like, there's even a few fights when the villains or the bosses or whatever you want to call them, they are like perfectly symmetrical, meaning that they look the exact same from their left side and right side, and he does not want to fight them because he's so perfectly symmetrical. So this guy has some problems, but when he does find an enemy that's not symmetrical, he says it disgusts him and he tears shit up. His weapons transforms into 2 pistols. They are twin sisters and they are awesome. Patty, I'm not exactly sure what to say about Patty. That's one of the twins, Liz and Patty, but she is kind of on the slow side, but she makes for some good comedy relief, especially when things are getting tense. But anyway, every single monster and every single weapon in this entire anime is awesome and hilarious in their own way. But there's this one weapon that no one can get along with. His name is Excalibur. I mean, he is like by far one of the strongest weapons. They have one episode where one person wields him and he takes on the entire main cast of Soul Eater and just demolishes them, but no one can deal with his obnoxiousness. He talks and talks and talks, and he is by far the best comic relief that we have in this entire anime. But regardless, Soul Eater is awesome. Just seeing how Soul and Maka go from the first episode, like he's one soul away from becoming a death scythe, and then it's all fucked up, and then the journey back up to there, and then when the Kishin is revived, how everyone has to join forces to try to beat this thing. I'm not going to talk a lot about this character because I don't think there's a way I could talk about him without spoiling anything, but there's this mad scientist-like character who's a teacher at the school named Stein, I guess as an homage to Frankenstein. But this guy is fucking crazy. Like, he literally has a screw in his head and he twists it whenever he's thinking. But what happens with Stein, like throughout the entire anime, that you get like slight hints of, but in the last few episodes you get confirmation, is just crazy. He is a strong mofo, and he renders like the entire Soul Eater cast, well, the main characters anyway, besides Death of course, because nobody's really fucking with Death, but anyway, he renders them all helpless, and he seems to be a villain at first, but it turns out that he's good. But I'm not going to go any further because there's no way to talk about this guy without spoiling some main plot points. But Stein is awesome, and just the relationship that he has with one of the witches. I mean, man, this anime is just crazy. Now, I will be back with the review of the manga after I'm done reading it, with a more detailed review of the anime and manga, since I'm pretty sure that this video is going to be the first time, not the first time someone has heard of Soul Eater, but this might actually make someone watch it because it is awesome, believe me. And I don't want to spoil you guys in this video. So the next video about Soul Eater, I'm telling you now, there are going to be some major spoilers and I'm going to go in detail. But if you are looking for an anime that isn't just around 15 to 25 episodes, I believe Soul Eater is 51 episodes. This is the anime for you. It's hilarious. The action is great. The animation is just about damn flawless. Everything about this anime is just terrific, amazing, grand, whatever the hell you want to call it. It's definitely one of my new favorites, and I would give it 2 thumbs up. I would give it more thumbs up if I had more thumbs. But anyway, tell me what you guys thought about this. Watch the first few episodes of Soul Eater and tell me how you think it is. If you have seen Soul Eater already and read the manga, tell me what you think about it. Anyway, this has been JB the Chia. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.